For me, I can't be the face of athletics because I'm not an arrogant or a loud person like Noah.
Letsile Tebogo stunned the world with a 19.46 Olympic gold and followed it up by calling Noah Lyles arrogant on live TV. No one saw that coming. But what happened after that one word flipped the sprinting world on its head. The Paris 2024 Olympics were already bursting with high expectations, especially in the men's 200-meter sprint. Everyone had their eyes on Noah Lyles, the reigning world champion, and the man who had boldly set his sights on pulling off a legendary sprint double, winning both the 100-meter and 200-meter, just like Usain Bolt did in his prime. Lyles had already secured gold in the 100-meter, and heading into the 200-meter final, it felt like history was ready to repeat itself. But the track had different plans. In a stunning twist that nobody saw coming, 21-year-old Letsile Tebogo from Botswana turned the entire sprinting world on its head with one of the cleanest and most explosive performances in Olympic history. Tebogo clocked an electrifying 19.46 seconds, shattering expectations and clinching the gold medal while making history as the 5th fastest man in the 200-meter ever. It wasn't just a win, it was a statement. Lyles, expected to dominate, faded in the final stretch and shockingly crossed the line in 3rd place. Moments later, cameras caught him being wheeled away from the stadium, leaving fans stunned. Later, it was revealed that Lyles had contracted COVID-19 during the Games, a revelation that added a complex layer to his defeat. While some sympathized with him for competing under such tough conditions, others believed the torch had already been passed, regardless of the illness.
Final at the weekend, and so we absolutely thought he was going to do this. He is a 200-meter man, that's his event, and so there was less pressure for this event, but this is something.
After the race, the stadium had barely quieted down when Letsile Tebogo made a remark that would ripple through the entire track and field world. During the post-race press conference, when asked about being the new face of athletics, Tebogo calmly replied that he couldn't be the face of the sport because he wasn't an arrogant or loud person like Noah. Just like that, the celebration took a sharp turn. The media clung to that line like a juicy headline, and within minutes, the world wasn't just talking about Tebogo's gold, they were dissecting his words. Was it a subtle jab at Lyles' flashy personality? Or just an honest statement about different temperaments? Either way, the quote quickly became bigger than the race itself. Social media exploded with fans picking sides. Some praised Tebogo for keeping it real, calling his comment a refreshing take from an athlete who lets his legs do the talking. Others, especially those who admired Lyles' energy and confidence, were less forgiving. To them, it sounded like unnecessary shade, a sign that maybe Tebogo wasn't as humble as he looked. Within hours, the humility versus arrogance debate had taken over headlines and hashtags across platforms.
He's already won a world 100-meter silver, a 200-meter bronze medal, so not to be for Noah Lyles, and even his teammate, in fact, American Kenny Bednarek.
Athletes and analysts weighed in too. Some respected the boldness of both men. Lyles for his unapologetic flair, and Tebogo for standing firm in his quiet strength. But others questioned whether a rising star like Tebogo should be calling out a seasoned champion in such a public way, especially after just one major win. What made the situation even more gripping was how different these two athletes were, not just in personality, but in how they represented themselves to the world. Lyles had built his brand on charisma and confidence, often talking big before races and celebrating hard afterward. Tebogo, by contrast, barely cracked a smile after winning gold. He wasn't interested in theatrics, just results. Weeks after his comment about Noah Lyles shook the track and field world, Letsile Tebogo finally addressed the storm he had stirred. Sitting down with reporters during a pre-race press event in Australia, the Olympic champion chose his words with precision. With the same calmness he displayed on the track, he clarified that his statement wasn't meant to disrespect Lyles. He said there was no tension between them. "When you get onto the track, it's all about business," he explained. "But when we finish, you can be friends. Life goes on." That one line softened the entire situation and gave fans a glimpse into Tebogo's mindset. He may be competitive, but he's not here to start wars. He went a step further, calling Noah Lyles a great promoter of the sport, even admitting that Lyles's loud personality helps bring attention to athletics. But while he acknowledged Lyles's role in growing the sport, Tebogo also made it clear that he wouldn't try to imitate that style. "With me," he said, "I'll always shy away from doing that, because that's me." It wasn't a backpedal, it was a reminder that not everyone has to shout to be heard. Some champions speak through action, not volume. In the world of elite athletics, silence can sometimes be louder than words. After Letsile Tebogo's arrogant comment made headlines, everyone expected Noah Lyles to clap back. He's never been shy with words. Whether it's calling himself the best, hyping up races, or dropping bold predictions, Lyles has always had a flair for showmanship. But this time, the American sprinter chose to stay quiet. No interviews, no subtle jabs, no emoji-laced tweets. Just complete radio silence. And that silence, it got people talking. Was he ignoring the comment because it wasn't worth his energy? Was he silently fuming behind the scenes, or was it part of a bigger plan? Lyles's social media activity since Paris has offered only a few clues. Most of his posts have been centered on training, recovery, and words like focus and redemption. He's shared short videos of his gym sessions, motivational quotes, and photos that show him putting in serious work ahead of the World Championships in Tokyo. What's missing is drama. No memes, no subtweets. It's almost like he's rebranding, not as the talker, but as the silent threat. The same guy who used to stir the pot before races is suddenly keeping a low profile. And it doesn't feel like fear, it feels like strategy. Behind the scenes, Lyles is likely using this moment as fuel. Being beaten on one of the biggest stages in front of millions can either crush an ego or sharpen a mindset. Lyles seems to be choosing the latter. He knows what people are saying. He knows some think his time has passed, that Tebogo is the new king, and that his personality has overshadowed his performance. But if there's one thing Noah Lyles has proven time and again, it's that he thrives under pressure. His past comebacks, his battles with injuries, and even his mental health struggles have shown he doesn't back down. Track and field has always thrived on great rivalries. It's what fuels the fans, packs the stadiums, and turns ordinary races into global events. Think Usain Bolt versus Justin Gatlin, or Johan Blake versus Tyson Gay. These weren't just races, they were narratives. Stories of contrasting styles, personalities, and countries clashing at blistering speeds. And right now, it feels like the next great rivalry has officially arrived. Letsile Tebogo versus Noah Lyles. Two men from two different continents. One is loud and electric, the other quiet and surgical. But both are chasing greatness, and the world can't stop watching. The media has already started framing it perfectly. Lyles is the showman, flashy, bold, and magnetic. He owns the spotlight and uses it to make the sport bigger. He dances, celebrates, and carries that American swagger everywhere he goes. On the other side, Tebogo is the silent assassin, calm, calculated, and humble. He doesn't need a crowd to believe in himself. He lets his time on the stopwatch do the talking. It's a perfect clash of personalities, and it's already giving fans something to rally behind. Whether you love the fireworks or prefer quiet domination, this rivalry has a flavor for everyone. While everyone is focused on the rivalry between Noah Lyles and Letsile Tebogo, there's another name quietly building steam, and he might just change everything. Gout, the teenage sprint sensation from Australia, has been turning heads with every stride. At just 17, He's already smashed national records and drawn comparisons to Usain Bolt himself. But what makes Gout's story even more compelling is how Tebogo sees him. Not as a rival yet, but as a rising star who needs guidance before he gets swallowed by the pressure. Tebogo has openly spoken about Gout's potential, praising his running style and raw talent. But he's also dropped a word of caution. During an interview ahead of the Maury Plant meet in Melbourne, Tebogo warned that the senior circuit isn't just about talent, it's about hunger. He said, "We're all hungry. Seniors want everything." It wasn't a threat. It was a reality check. In a world where medals, money, and sponsorships are at stake, being fast isn't enough. You have to be prepared to fight, mentally and physically. And Tebogo knows that from experience. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.